Representative Omar.
I think a commissioned position is very different than what we are discussing today.
Representative Omar, I mentioned the fact that it's not just limited to commission. It's also for anybody that is demoted. So you can be in a regular job, not part of a commission situation, but if you're failing to perform, you'll get demoted. And then you get...
What's up, everyone? You're definitely going to want to see this one. A House hearing took a sharp turn when Ilhan Omar challenged a former business owner over jobs, wages, and how the real-world economy works. The exchange quickly became heated, with both sides pushing back hard. What followed was a tense confrontation that turned into a pointed debate over business, employment, and pay, and it didn't take long for the room to feel the pressure. Before we jump into the footage, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss our latest political breakdowns and hearing highlights.
Chair, Representative O'Neal, I'm just wondering, are there... I was a union member for a long time, and I've also gotten an opportunity to work in the private sector, and I'm curious to know if you know of any employer that has a provision where they decrease pay for employees. I find that a little strange, and so I just wanted to know where that thought comes from, and if you know where an employee gets their pay decreased.
Representative O'Neal.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Well, I was a business owner. I recently sold my share, so I don't own it anymore, but there are plenty of businesses out there, especially those that depend on employees' productivity, like I was in the trades. So I owned a company that was a tile setting company, and if we didn't get out there and do the work, and if I didn't have highly productive employees, they were paid based on their productivity. So if they had issues, it is very possible that their pay would reflect those issues. If they were on probation for something, for some sort of violation, that could be coordinated with a pay reduction. It's something that businesses do all the time, and it could be the step before someone is actually fired. So it's an important thing, and it gets people's attention, when they see it in their paycheck that their performance does not meet the standard.
Representative Omar.
Hudson, I think, did you have something?
Madam Chair.
Mr. Hudson? Was there a question for Mr. Hudson?
No, I think he was saying that he wanted to add something, so I didn't know if he had something to add.
Mr. Hudson, is there a response to the question? Do you have a response to that question?
Madam Chair, yes, ma'am.
Are you saying that you aren't aware of any businesses that decrease pay? Because that was the question.
Madam Chair, I think what Chair O'Neal perhaps could be referring to, there are some instances where the pay structure is different. So for an example, she'd indicated that she had come out of the towel industry. I'm not sure if these were commissioned employees who may have been on like an 80-20 split. In that instance, there is a situation where a pay might be reduced. Or if we have a supervisor who perhaps had a performance improvement issue or a behavioral concern, and we demoted this supervisor, that is an instance where pay might be decreased. But just an employee who has not been under some sort of performance improvement program having their pay reduced, I've never heard of that.
Well, Mr. Hudson, I think Representative O'Neal knows exactly what she says. And I think we've had a little conversation back here when the question was asked. I know Representative Uglem, do you want to speak to that point?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Representative Omar, if you happen to be a salesman in this world, and you can be selling cars, you could be selling siding, you could be selling just about anything, and you are paid on commission. So if you don't sell anything, you don't make anything. So you can have good years, you can have bad years. Probably really one of the best examples is a real estate agent. So it's the idea that people can can make less money year to year, not to mention all the bonus situations that are out there in industry. It happens. It happens a lot. It doesn't necessarily happen, here in the public sector, but it's pervasive and very, very common in the private sector. Thank you.
And I'd like to add that in the private sector as well, people, if they are not performing at their job, get demoted, and with that demotion comes a pay cut. And that's not even related to being in a commission position, that's just in a regular position as well. Representative Omar.
I think a commissioned position is very different than what we are discussing today.
Representative Omar, I mentioned the fact that it's not just limited to commission. It's also for anybody that is demoted. So you can be in a regular job, not part of a commission situation, but if you're failing to perform, you'll get demoted, and then you get a pay.
Ilhan Omar opened the exchange with a pointed question. Do you know of any employer that decreases pay for employees? The question immediately drew attention and set the stage for a tense discussion about wages, performance, and how compensation works in the private sector. Representative Barbo O'Neal responded from personal experience, explaining that she had owned a business and that an employee's compensation can be affected when performance or productivity falls. Her response shifted the conversation toward the realities business owners and workers face every day. The discussion continued as Mr. Hudson and Representative Uglum weighed in with examples involving commissions, sales positions, and management roles. Their argument was that compensation can vary depending on performance, responsibilities, and the structure of a particular job. Omar pushed back, questioning the idea that pay reductions are a normal or appropriate part of employment. That disagreement quickly became the central issue of the hearing, whether changes in compensation should be viewed as unusual or as one of the realities of a performance-driven workplace. What followed was a heated exchange over economics, workplace accountability, and the relationship between productivity and pay. Supporters of O'Neal's position saw the discussion as a defense of practical business experience, while Omar continued pressing her argument from a different perspective. By the end, the hearing had become much more than a simple question about wages. It turned into a broader debate over how the private sector actually operates and what role performance should play in determining compensation. What do you think? Was Omar making a legitimate point about workers' pay, or did O'Neal and the other representatives provide the stronger real-world argument? Let us know in the comments, hit the like button, and subscribe for more political hearing breakdowns.